First up, the latest on coronavirus, and Italy has recorded its deadliest day of the virus's outbreak with 168 deaths overnight. This is the biggest single-day jump in the death toll, making it the worst-hit country after China. Meanwhile, the entire country is now under a lockdown, and Italy's government has issued a very strict advisory to its citizens, asking them to stay at home and avoid all non-essential travel. While the strict lockdown and travel restrictions worked for China, it faced a rocky start in Italy. Italy's death toll has surged to 631 with 10,149 infections in just 2 weeks. Pope Francis also seems to have created some confusion by holding a mass. He even urged priests to go out and visit the sick, something especially discouraged by the Italian Prime Minister. The situation in Italy is fast resembling China's situation in February. The government's lockdown measures led to a major stock market crash, and the northern province of Lombardy is struggling to cope with the outbreak, and hospital beds are reportedly running out, and there is a shortage of medical equipment and staff. Streets across the country have been deserted. Travel has been restricted. Sport schedules have also been affected across the country. And we'll take a look at these pictures from Milan, which speak for themselves. And well, across supermarkets in Italy, there are long queues as people look to stock up supplies. Shoppers were seen wearing masks as stores remained open overnight. Residents were even confused on whether they were allowed to leave their homes for everyday tasks like shopping. The confusion forced the government to warn against panic buying. Meanwhile, Austria and Slovenia have decided to close their borders to Italy. The French President Emmanuel Macron slammed this decision, saying it was a bad one.
Nous souhaitons à chaque fois que ce soit proportionné. Pourquoi? Parce qu'il faut que ce soit utile et parce que nous ne sommes qu'au début de cette épidémie. Et si nous prenons des mesures qui sont disproportionnées, ce sont des mesures avec lesquelles nous ne pourrons pas vivre dans le temps. Et c'est donc contre-productif. Je crois que ce sont très sincèrement de mauvaises décisions. La coordination européenne est beaucoup plus efficace. Les mesures de confinement sur les régions qui sont touchées sont plus efficaces. Les mesures de responsabilisation des personnes malades à qui on demande de rester à la maison, de prendre des mesures barrières, sont beaucoup plus efficaces.
And WION's Lucy Huff is now joining us live from Brussels for the latest on the situation in Europe. And well, Lucy, thanks for talking to us this afternoon. Now, the number of cases in Europe is only continuing to rise, with more than 10,000 in Italy. What can you tell us more about the condition in particular in Italy and otherwise in Europe?
Well, yes, the number of cases in Italy just continuing to mount. We're now at 10,149. The number of deaths now at 631, with that huge spike yesterday. Clearly, that is being watched with concern here in the EU. We had a call last night of EU leaders from all member states, all 27 EU countries, talking about how the bloc can coordinate its response. Clearly, there is concern about Italy becoming the epicenter of the virus in Europe and the knock-on effect that's having elsewhere. We know, of course, that France and Slovenia have now closed their borders with Italy to prevent any further transmission, and that you need to have certification to cross that border to show that you haven't been affected. There are still no plans to impose bloc-wide travel restrictions, but real concern from EU leaders that there needs to be greater coordination, particularly on mitigating the economic impact. We did have an announcement from the EU Commission following that meeting that there will be a big cash injection. At the moment, 7.5 billion put into healthcare systems and to making sure that there is enough personal protective equipment, medical supplies within the bloc, and that there is adequate resources to make sure that those materials go to where they are most needed. At the moment, of course, that appears to be Italy, but that may change as the virus continues to spread. We are expecting the European Central Bank to make some announcement on Thursday following the Bank of England and prior the Federal Reserve in terms of loosening monetary policy, with the economic impact expected to continue to worsen as the virus continues to spread.
Well, absolutely. And Lucy, thanks very much indeed for joining us and sharing what's happening in Europe and specifically in Italy.